What is going on, boys? In this video, we're going to talk about a strategy that will enable you to have peace of mind as you go throughout your day, instead of battling negative thoughts and self-doubt. Now, this strategy is to stop caring what others think about you. But look, I know this is easier said than done, but by the end of this video, I'm going to give you actionable tips so that you successfully do this. Because the reality is, I know it's tough. I mean, you've probably heard this time and time again. But before we get into the actionable tips that you can apply, let's talk about why you have to stop caring about what others think about you. The first reason is if you constantly seek out the approval of others to validate your worth, you're never going to feel good about yourself. Because the reality is that there isn't one single person on this entire planet that has the approval of everyone. You know, human beings, we all have these different opinions, and you're not going to be able to satisfy everyone. It's just not possible. So it's really just a broken formula. But even worse than that, your attention is always going to be fixated on something negative, which is going to dampen your mood. I mean, have you ever noticed that when you think of a time that you excelled in life, like when you won a sports game, maybe you kissed your crush, or you aced a test, whatever it was, if you think back to a time where you did something amazing, you start to feel happy. Or have you ever noticed that when you think of memories that you're not fond of, like maybe a time that you said something cringy in front of a lot of people, you start to feel sad? If you haven't noticed that, then pause this video and test it out, and you'll quickly find that your mood, it actually is directly correlated to your thoughts. So when you focus on how others negatively perceive you, it just further destroys your self-worth and happiness. And the funniest part is, you don't even know their true thoughts. You're just assuming what they're thinking. But let me ask you a question. How is caring what others think of you helping you? Is it making you feel better? No. Is it helping you focus on what's important or what you have to do in the day so that you're productive and hit your goals? No. All it is doing is making you self-conscious and holding you back from being a better version of yourself. And look, I know this from personal experience or firsthand, you know? I used to be at the point where I lacked confidence. I felt super alone and I was scared for the future. Ultimately, I was insecure as one could be, and whenever I met someone new, I was really anxious because I would try and please them. I would always be thinking like, how can I get this person to like me? What if they don't like me? You know? I was caring so much about what others thought about me that it just built this anxiousness. And eventually that turned me into trying to please them so they could validate my own self-worth. But after months of this, I realized that was exactly what was keeping me stuck. Stuck as a lesser version of myself. So that's when I decided I needed a new formula. I needed something that helped me take control. So I started forcing myself to do things in public that were uncomfortable. I remember when I first started doing this, I would lay on the floor in a public place to induce people's weird reactions. And after I did this for a few weeks, guess what happened? I stopped caring about what others were thinking about, or stopped caring about their opinions of me. And I noticed when this happened that my confidence, it grew. It grew like a freaking redwood tree. There we go. That's a good analogy there. But I mean, you see all these YouTubers too, and they go and do embarrassing things, right? But they don't really seem embarrassed as they do it. Instead, they're super confident, and that's because they've continually put themselves out there in uncomfortable situations, and ultimately because they don't care what others think about them. So with that being said, I challenge you. I challenge you to overcome this fear of rejection or of other people's opinions by doing what I did. I literally want you to go to a public place and lay down on the floor. And what you're quickly gonna find is that others, they don't care about you laying in the middle of the floor. Most of the time, they just see you, look back up and keep on walking and going on about their day. 5 seconds after they see you, they're not thinking about you. They're going back to their day. They're like, oh, that guy's just doing some weird thing down there. Okay, like whatever. Now look, I know some of you don't want to go out and do this, but if that's you, let me ask you a question. How are you going to feel about yourself in 2 years from now if you're still letting the opinions of other people control you? Probably even worse than you are right now. So why not break past this limitation? How is staying stagnant and choosing to let others control your self-worth helping you live a better life? It's not. So accept this challenge and improve yourself. Become a conqueror. Now, if you made it this far in the video, it shows me that you're meant to be a part of this community, this army of conquerors, because most people, they would have given up on their dream life. They would have succumbed to mediocrity. But the fact that you're trying to improve yourself still, and the fact that you're watching this video is proof of that, it shows me that you should be with us. And I respect that because look, most people aren't willing to do or willing to put in the work to improve themselves, but that isn't you. So I want you to officially join us by hitting that subscribe and like button. Well, when you do that, it's gonna help us reach more people, and thus, it's gonna help us impact more people's lives for the better. And then the last thing is, I wanna hear from you. I love meeting all you new conquerors. So go ahead and drop a comment and just tell me a little bit about yourself. Whether that's a big ambition that you have, a struggle that you're currently facing, or just a fun fact about you. So go ahead, drop a comment, subscribe, and like.